Bonjour mes amis, nous commençons avec notre classe. Et maintenant, if you look up on the front board, we're going to start with some new vocabulary for our numbers. So I'll use my trusty laser pointer. And you guys have done all the numbers. You're responsible for the numbers up to 75. Okay, what number is that in English, everyone?
75.
75. Oui, c'est ça. All right, because we're going to be doing some bingo today. And if you don't know the numbers, then you can't win the prize. And there is a prize. All right, there are a couple new numbers up here. 100 is one of them. Now, there are some, it's almost a cognate, because there's some words in English that begin with 100. Julianne?
Yeah, it's 100, right?
You know that it's 100. That's good. C'est bon. What are some words that begin with 100 in English?
Cents?
Yeah, there's cents. How many cents in a dollar?
100.
100. What about centimeter? How many centimeters in a meter?
Wait, 100?
100. There's 100 centimeters in a meter. Okay? So we do in our English language, we have lots of precedents for the word 100 to mean 100. Now we have the next word is 1000. And one would think that 1000 would be a million, right? Because
1,000.
but it's 1,000. So be very careful, okay? All right. So we'll just move on from that, and I'll give you an example of that later on. We've been doing our letters, so let's just continue with that. Répétez après moi, s'il vous plaît. A, B, C, D.
A, B, C, D.
E, F, G, H.
E, F, G, H.
E, F, G, H. Bon, fantastic. Merci. Now, we have some new words, and just like, well, ash isn't too hard, I don't think. It's a different language, and it's a different word. Ash, it's kind of got an H in it. But the J, of course, is difficult because we want to say G, right? The same thing applies with E. And I'm saying E, but I'm pointing to I. Okay? In English, we would say I. But in French, it's E. And oftentimes you'll find that in a word that it's pronounced E instead of I or it. So this is E, and then of course the J is G. Oh, they do that just to confuse us, I think. So it's E, G. Everyone, E, G. Okay. The next letter is K. K. Okay, and then it gets really easy because it just goes L, M, N, O, P. Yeah, so it's everyone say pay. That's it. All right, so I'm going to do 4 at a time. E, G, K, L.
E, K, L.
M, N, O, P. Okay. Now, over on the front board, which is the hardest vocabulary that we have to do, I have taken off the English translations for all of these words here. Is there any word that's up here that you don't know? Okay, if you're being shy, here's what you do. Go into your Google. Somebody's got their mom talking in our classroom. If there's somebody that comes into our classroom and starts talking, you're going to have to turn them off, or please tell them to leave the room, because can you imagine being in a classroom where people are just walking in and starting conversations? It just doesn't work very well. Okay, so if you want to go into your search, just search for Google Translate. And with Google Translate, you can type in any of these words and it will give you the translation in English. But you're responsible to know these words. We've gone over them in class. If you missed a class, then you might need to use your Google Translate, okay? And the nice thing about Google Translate is it will also sound it out for you too. All right, going over some new words, and some of these you'd be familiar with as well. Allons-y. You hear Pilote saying to the kids in telephone, say, allons-y. And she's saying,
go.
let's go. That's it exactly. Au revoir, of course you know already.
Goodbye.
Oui. And combien, that's a new one.
How much?
How much? So if you were if you want your bill at a restaurant, you say, l'addition, s'il vous plaît. So the addition, the bill. But if you were pointing to a certain item on a menu and they didn't have the price there, chances are if you have to ask, it's too much, right? As the saying goes. But you might say combien, how much? Okay? Also, assez. Assez is enough. If the waiter comes to you and you've had enough, you say, oh, assez, enough, enough. De rien. Oftentimes, if you say merci to me, I'll respond with de rien. It's nothing. Okay, and that's how they say. Sometimes we say that too. If somebody says, thank you so much for doing the dishes, and we say, oh, it's nothing, right? Like I was glad to do it, right? Well, de rien, that's a French expression. And then finally, the most important expression. You guys, these words got me through high school French. I hate to admit it, but it's true. When I grew up in a community that was largely French Canadian in Coquitlam, that was called Millardville, is the area, and they were all French Canadians that had moved to the West Coast to work in mills and stuff like that. Their families came and joined them, and so all the kids spoke French, except for me. And so, as you can imagine, the French classes were quite demanding. And the French teacher said, well, as long as you respond in French, I'm good with it. So I knew the phrase, je ne sais pas. Now, je sais means I know. Say comes from the verb to know. Savoir. Doesn't look anything like it, does it? But that's because it's an irregular verb. So it doesn't conjugate nicely like ER verbs do. So with je, savoir becomes sais. Je sais. Everyone say, je sais.
Je sais.
Je sais. Oui. All right. Now, if we add the negative to it, je ne sais pas, it means I don't know. I don't know. So if I ask you something and you don't know, I need you to say, je ne sais pas. Can you guys all say that?
Je ne sais pas.
That was
Je
good.
ne sais pas.
Okay, Isaac, je ne sais pas.
Je ne sais pas.
Ryan, je ne sais pas.
Je ne sais pas.
Aiden, je ne sais pas.
Je ne sais pas.
Julianne,
Je ne sais pas.
Olivia,
Je ne sais pas.
Christian.
Je ne sais pas.
Fantastic. Okay, you guys are doing really well. There's a couple words I took off of that board and I put over here to the right-hand side. The two animals I put over here. Qu'est-ce que c'est un oiseau?
Corbeau.
Oui, a bird, right? Oiseau is bird. Corbeau is a kind of bird. What kind of bird is it?
Crow.
It's a crow. Corbeau, oiseau, and then I've got a board for fruits. Ananas. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Pineapple. Pineapple.
Oui, merci. Okay. So you need to know those. Also, another sort of vocabulary word for next week is la météo. La météo. Anyone know what la météo is?
Temperature.
Yeah, you're getting close, yeah. Well, you see temp down below, which is almost a cognate for
Oh,
temperature.
degrees.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what's the weather like? You say, quel temps fait-il? What's the weather like? But if you're talking about the weather in general, it's la météo, okay? So, and of course, in Quebec, last night, if it was a clear night, they had a meteor shower over Montreal last night. Because meteors fly through the
Sky.
Yeah, but you don't really see them until they hit our atmosphere and they start to burn up, and they look beautiful. And thank goodness, thank God for our atmosphere, because it burns those meteors up and doesn't let them come down and hit us in the head. Okay, if those meteors hit you in the head, you'd forget all the French you knew. Trust me. Okay, can't say it's happened to me yet, but all right. As we look over at our vocabulary on the backboard, oh, we love these words, don't we? What is fantastique?
Fantastic.
What is Provence? Provence.
Province.
Province. What is, oh, okay, well, here's some new ones now. Complètement. What do you think that is?
What?
Complètement. I'm pointing at it with my laser
Completely.
pointer. Yeah, it's completely. Do you guys see that? Pretty easy. In fact, probably hard to forget. Incroyable. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Incroyable.
Amazing.
Close.
Great. Enjoyable.
Incredible. Yeah, incredible. Incroyable. It doesn't really look too much like incredible, but it's got a bit of it in it. Moment.
Moment.
Moment. And we've already done is hour. We correct. Dangereux.
Dangerous.
Dangerous. Important.
Important.
Oh, yes. Yes. So you see how easy that is. All right. Here's our easy ER verb cognate. Okay? Téléphoner.
Telephone.
To what?
To call.
Yeah, to make a telephone call, right? Remember, the verbs are doing words. They're not objects. Okay? So téléphone would be the telephone. Téléphoner is to telephone. Okay? Okay, so really we've got only a couple new words here. We did jouer, which was to what?
Play.
To play.
Play.
And we did manger, which is to
Manger. Eat.
Yeah, to eat, like as in the manger was a place to eat, right? Travailler, do you remember that one?
Work. To work.
To work. Good for you. Good for you. No one said to travel. That often happens. All right, our new word today, and you notice we're getting fewer and fewer new words now. It's because you're getting to know so many of them. All right, the new non-cognate ER verb is habiter. Anybody want to
Habit.
Anybody? Oh,
Habit. Habit.
It does sound like habit, doesn't it?
Live.
It
To
is,
live. Yeah.
It is to live. Yeah. Have you ever heard of the group Habitat for Humanity?
No.
Okay, well, it's a group of volunteers, and what they do is they build houses for people. So people who are on low income, that could never afford to have a house for their family, they get adopted by these volunteers. And the volunteers get supplies and stuff like that, sometimes from houses that are being torn down, or donations, or they purchase it from donations, and they build a house for people. Isn't that wonderful? Merveilleux. It's marvelous, right? So habiter is like polar bears. Where do polar bears live? In the Antarctic, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. No, they don't live in the Antarctic.
The North Pole?
They live in the Arctic. That's the Arctic. Okay, and penguins live in the Arctic, right?
Yeah.
Isaac's saying no. Where do they live, Isaac?
In the Antarctic.
And they live in the Antarctic. So if you ever see a picture of polar bears and penguins together, there's a problem because they don't coexist. They both have different habitats, okay, or places where they live. So when somebody asks me, where do you live? They'll say, où habites-tu? Where do you live? Okay? And I would say, j'habite, I live, au Colombie-Britannique. I live in British Columbia. So I think that we've gone over all of our new vocabulary, And so we'll be ready to go out and go through the cloud and rehearse that with the things that you write. But there's just one other thing that I can't forget, and that is the Quizlet. How many of you joined the Quizlet page? Hands up.
I did.
Super. Aiden and Ryan, I can't see your hands, so can you tell me? Did you get on the... I think Aiden, I did see you there. Ryan, are you on the Quizlet?
I think. I'm not too sure.
Okay. Well, it's really, really important that you go there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen because I want to show you what your homework looks like for today. So here we go. I'm going to share it. And it's really, you guys, it's really simple. All right, so you're going to go to the ER verbs, okay, and you're going to do the flashcards. Okay, so with the flashcards, all you do is just click on cache to hide, right? There you go. And then you go to the next one. Regarder is...
To regard, to look.
Yes, to regard, to look. Yeah, to watch. Okay, so you need to go through all of those. And then you go to the learn one, okay? And the learn one is also easy. So we'll go to the next one here. And it's multiple choice. Oh,
to walk.
Yeah, to walk. Now they've got the answer in here is to walk. And you might not know how to spell the words. And I'm not super concerned about that. So you can go to the options and look at how it says here, answer with French or English. And we're just going to make it English. And we're just going to go multiple choice questions. So you see how you can change that in the options? You can change it. You can have English options. It's going to come up in French. And I just want you to choose the English options. So here we go. Répéter is to what?
Repeat.
There we go. So we click on that and correct. Now, you guys, there's no reason why you don't get 100% on both of those. Okay?
Arrêter.
And
Arrêter.
oh, and it even calls it out. Okay, if I
Arrêter. Stop or arrest.
Yeah. So if I go back and go to the right, now this one you do have to write it. Okay, but it's okay if you put in don't know. It'll bring it up and it'll show you and then put it in. Okay, so now to amuse or entertain,
Amuser.
type the French, amuser. Okay, and if there is, I'm trying to get to one where there's, what is to jump?
Sauter.
Sauter. I'm trying to get to one where there's oh, here we go, répéter, okay? So here we go. I know it's like this, répéter,
but there's a hat.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not quite sure how that goes. So what I'm going to do is say, don't know, and it shows me répéter. So I would do the R-E-P-E-T-E-R, and next time I know how to do it, okay? So eventually I would like to see you guys do that so that you know how to do it. I think it's a good exercise for you to do that. Do not do the test yet, okay? Do not do the test. I'm going to ask you one day to do the test, like soon, like week after next. I'm going to ask you to do the test. And even with the test, if I bring up the test, I want to instruct you about doing the options. As you see, I've taken off the written one, so I don't want you writing the word out. I want you just doing matching, multiple choice, and true and false for your test. Okay, there's an example of matching questions. Arrêter is to stop.
To stop or arrest.
Yeah, so I would go G. Okay, and then continue on. All right, and then it'll mark it at the end. Okay, and I will get your mark. Okay, from that. And that's going to count towards your final score. Okay, so very, very important that you begin on your Quizlet. And it's in the homework page, so you should see it there. Okay, and with that, we're going to go to, I'm going to go to show, and I'm going to go my webpage.
Gord,
Yes.
what if I already did my Quizlet?
Even to the test and stuff?
Just like the Quizlets. What if you did do the Quizlets right now?
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, just
I did them.
make sure you got a good score on them, okay?
I did. I mastered all of them.
Oh, super. That's great. It's not hard. It's not
Also,
hard.
I did some, but I didn't do the test.
Okay, good. Yeah. Did you guys do the test, Christian and Olivia?
Wait, which one is the test?
Well, it'll say the test. I wouldn't worry too much about it. You know what? If you did all the prior ones to the test, I'm sure that you did well on the test. Okay? I'm sure that you did. Now,
I don't know.
so you guys, if you watch my screen, you'll see that I brought up the web page to the right by going to show, and I made sure that I clicked on web. So, and if you go down to, well, if you go down to number 31, it says bingo. Okay, so I'm going to ask that you go there. All right, and I'm going to continue to share my screen. I know that might be a bit of a pain, but what I want to show you what we're doing. This checker piece here that I'm pointing to does not belong to you, so you cannot move it. All right, I can move it, but you cannot. So I'm going to move it off the card, but here's what you can do, is once you've selected it, your object properties box will come up. See this? And by the way, the reason why we're doing this is to review your numbers, but also to prepare you for your house, because I hope to have you guys in your homes next week. Okay? But you'll need to, your homes are no good to you if you don't know how to move things and create things and put them in there. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to right click on this checker piece that doesn't belong to me, and I'm going to duplicate it. Now, the nice thing is that duplicate belongs to me because I made it. Okay? And it's same for you guys. Then you can use I'm using my arrow keys right now to move it into the center. But you can also use these keys up here. See this? Forward and back, sideways. So you can create as many as you want and put them onto your board. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be calling out numbers, like I'll say Sue. So I don't know, you guys are probably not seeing me, but if you hold your hand up in front of your forehead, hold your hand up, yeah, like you're saluting me, okay? Take the other hand and put it underneath. That's the sign language for Sue. S-O-U-S. En français, Sue is under. So I will say sous la baie, which means under the bee, and I'll call out wheat. So what you would do then is you would duplicate the one that's in your middle, and you would move it over to the 8. Okay, because I said wheat. Sous la baie, wheat. So all you have to do is, if I say sous la N, 45, all you have to do is look under the N. You only have to look at 4 numbers. And does it have 45 there? Yes, it does. It has it right over there. Okay? So let's go. We've got like maybe 20 minutes to do a bingo game. And the person who wins is going to get a nice prize.
Yay.
Okay? Sur le G. Sur le G. Under the G. 60. 60.
Is that 60?
Oui. Okay, but I'm going to ask you not to say it out loud as we move along, okay? Sur le O, 68. 68. Sur la N, 35. 35. 26. 26. So if anybody has got 5 in a row, either horizontal or diagonal or vertical, shout out bingo. Le prochain numéro.
Bingo!
Oh, Christian, you've got bingo?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to come over.
I got 5 diagonals.
Okay, I'm going to come over to your board. Can you come down to your board?
Okay.
Okay, and let me check it out. Okay, so sur le B, 10. Oui, c'est ça. Sur le I, 26. Oui, c'est ça. And then you've got your free space. And then sur le G, 50. Oui. And le dernier, 64. 64. Oui, c'est ça. Fantastique.
Yay.
Okay. So, félicitations. Congratulations, Christian. Félicitations. All right. Tu es le champion. You are the champion. Okay, for bingo today. So the prize that you get, and let me just write this down. So the Thursday group is Christian, is that when you get your house next week, you're going to be able to ask me for anything that you want, and I'm going to put it on your lot.
Hooray!
Okay? All right. So anything that we've got, we have tens of thousands of objects, but I will get one that's special for you. Okay?
Okay.
All righty. And what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the clouds. No. Okay, so I'll meet you at my cloud, okay? Now, you guys make sure that you continue to go through the homework page, and especially what's really important are those personal pronouns and how they're conjugated with ER verbs. Please make sure that you continue to review that so that you know it, okay? So let's go through the cloud. Okay, now something that's a little bit different about the cloud today is that it has, do you see the blue sign there? I think maybe what I should do is I should share my screen.
You clicked that for a video?
Yes, yeah, let me do it, okay? I'm gonna share my screen, and right there, you should all see my screen now. See? So if you click on that, what it'll do is it'll bring up a video.
Bienvenue à chez moi. Comment vous appelez-vous? Où habitez-vous? J'ai un vélo. Et toi? J'ai 64 ans. Et toi? Mon numéro de téléphone est 334 3676. Merci et au revoir.
Okay, so I've done that to help you with your pronunciation so that you guys can go through this cloud and rehearse what's on the cloud. All right, but there's a couple of things that I want to go over first. Because now, hopefully you guys will all be able to bring that up, and you know how to resize the web page, right? Go over it so you see those 2 arrows up here. Put down your left mouse button and pull it over, and it'll make it bigger. Now, unfortunately, it's not showing the stuff above here, but if you have it on your screen, okay, you should be able to see both me and the cloud as well, okay? So let's start from the beginning. Bienvenue à chez moi. So there's something...
Bienvenue à chez moi.
Okay, thank you. You're pronouncing it. That's good. The thing that's different here is chez moi. Now, if you've ever been to Montreal or Paris or some French Canadian community, you'll see that there'll be a restaurant, and the restaurant will be like Chez Jacques or Chez Melinda. And what it means is Melinda's place or Jacques' place. Okay, and that's kind of how they call their restaurants. So it's not like they have chain restaurants. It's not like McDonald's or A&W or something like that. Okay, they have, a lot of people take great pride in their cooking. My mother-in-law, who just passed away not long ago, was an amazing cook. when she cooked a meal for us, she would start 3 or 4 days in advance. Like she'd buy the meat 4 days in advance. Make sure that it was a good cut of meat. If it was too tough or there was any problems with it, she'd take it back and she'd cancel the dinner because she'd have to marinate the meat like for 2 or 3 days before she would cook it. Right? Trust me, my mouth is watering just thinking about the meals that she cooked. Okay? So and a lot of people, what they do is they run a restaurant like right out of their home. They'll invite people over. People will pay good money to come and eat at their place. So chez moi means my place. Okay, so welcome to my place. And this is, we're preparing you to welcome people to your house. Okay? Bienvenue à chez moi. So can everyone say that? Bienvenue à chez moi.
Bienvenue à chez moi. Bienvenue à chez moi. Bienvenue à chez moi.
Isaac?
Bienvenue chez moi.
Oui, merci. Comment vous appelez-vous? Now, typically, I've asked you before, comment t'appelles-tu? That's the familiar. I'm asking you your name because you're students of mine, right? So that's fine. But if you were to ask me my name, you would say, comment vous appelez-vous? It's formal. So you see that? How are you called? Everyone say, comment vous appelez-vous?
Comment vous appelez-vous?
Oui. So how are you called? Où habitez-vous? Now you see the verb habiter in there, right? That we just went over. So what am I asking?
Oh, where do you live?
Where do you live? Yes.
Where do you live?
Now you'll notice that with the vous, it's EZ. If it was someone familiar to you, you'd go habitu, où habites-tu, right? And it would be ES. It would be silent. But with the vous, it's EZ. That's how the verb is conjugated with vous. So everyone say, où habitez-vous?
Où habitez-vous?
Merci. Then we've got j'ai un vélo. Does anybody remember what a vélo is? Yeah, qu'est-ce que c'est un vélo?
Animal?
No.
No.
What might help you to remember is during the Olympics, during the Summer Olympics, they have bike races. Inside, they also have them.
Oh, a bike. Un vélo.
Yeah, a vélo is a bike. And when they have those bike races, it's like a track, but the track is really slanted. And the reason why is because you're going so fast. You'd go off the track if it was flat. So they're angled, but it's called a velodrome. A velodrome. And that's where they race bikes. Okay, so can you guys say, j'ai un vélo?
J'ai un vélo.
J'ai un vélo. That's saying, I have a bike. Et toi? That's right. And you? And you? I have a bike. And you? All right, here's another possessive word. J'ai 64 ans. All right, so j'ai is I have, and I'm saying here, I have 64 years. So I'm telling you how old I am. J'ai 64 ans. Now, I don't want you guys putting in that you're 64 years old. I don't think anyone would believe that. Okay, so you'll need to put in your age. Okay. Et toi, of course, is asking, and you. Okay, because it's the polite thing to ask. Mon numéro de téléphone. So there you go. My telephone number is, now I made a bit of a mistake here because I put in my telephone number, my real one, and I probably should not have done that. But you guys all have my telephone number anyway. Okay, so I don't mind you guys having that if you need to call me, for any reason. But here's how I said it in the tape. 300, so I'm saying 334. 334. So you guys could say that? 334. Wait, and then I go 3,676. So 3676. So everyone, 3000. Everyone. Tout le monde. Olivia, Julianne, I want to hear you say it. 3000. 600. 76. 76. Okay, and down below I say do not put in a correct phone number for you, okay? Now I don't want you writing that in your cloud. That's just my instructions to you, okay? And next week when we meet, what I would like to do is I would like to ask you, please, to read out the entire cloud. You understand?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Wait, I can read it out right now.
Yes, I'm sure you can, but I'm going to be asking you to do it, and that's very important that you're getting the pronunciation down. And in time, I'm going to be asking you to record the cloud, okay, and send me the recording. So the nice part about that is that if you make a mistake, you can go back and do it again until you get it right, okay? So I do that as a favor to you. But that is due for the 14th. And actually, the 14th, that reminds me, I think the 14th is, if I'm not mistaken, is Thanksgiving. So it may be that you get 2 weeks on this, but I will check the calendar and send a letter out to your parents if we don't have a class next week. Okay? But you should have it done for the end of this week, really, and have it ready to go on the 14th. Okay? Okay. Well, you guys, I think that's the end of class. We would normally go and do some sort of activity right now, and you're free to do that if you guys would like to. But given that we did the bingo today, I think that was sort of our field trip for today. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so you guys are clear on what you need to do?
Yep.
Yes? And you've got all that in your homework page. Don't forget.
Yep.
Okay. Au revoir, tout le monde.
Au revoir.
I'll leave this on if you guys want to talk to each other.
Okay.
Okay. But, and I'll be lurking in the background, okay, working.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Bye. Au revoir. Au revoir.